right, if you're watching this right now, chances are I'm already in Portugal or I'm in London somewhere, enjoying my holidays with my family and such. But of course, while I'm away, I am actually going to go through all the different companies that I'm actually invested in. But because when I'm away, I'm most likely going to be missing out about like 4 to 5 videos. So the next 4 to 5 videos that you're going to be watching are most likely going to be pre-recorded. So all these videos are going to be talking about the companies that I'm investing in. And of course, I'm gonna explain to you guys why I actually am interested in those companies as well. So first up, today we are going to be talking about Snapchat. Okay, so I think I have been quite bullish on Snapchat. I have actually explained to you guys a lot about Snapchat. But of course, if we actually get down into the nitty-gritty of things about Snapchat right now, of course, I'm pretty sure that we already know about how Apple's change of the ad revenue actually destroyed Snapchat and alongside with all your other social media platforms such as your Facebook, your Instagram, your Pinterest, your Twitter. All of them basically got destroyed when the news came out. And of course, when Snapchat came out with a profit warning, that also got destroyed even more. Snapchat basically dropped from about like $30 down to like about $10 or so. Okay, so right now my average on Snapchat at the moment is about $22 or so. Okay, right now Snapchat is about $12. Okay, of course I'm down quite heavily on Snapchat as it is, but nevertheless I'm still relatively bullish on Snapchat, and I intend to dollar cost average more into Snapchat as we go on and on. Okay, so the reason why I'm very, very bullish into Snapchat, because ultimately I do think that Snapchat got the power to really overtake Instagram in the near future. Okay, by near future, of course, I'm talking about like 4 to 5 years. And when I talk about overtaking, I'm talking about both from the creator standpoint, the consumer standpoint, and also the advertiser standpoint. Okay, so these are three very, very important points for a social media platform. Okay, because if we're talking about from a consumer standpoint alone, I think that Instagram definitely destroy their competition. Okay, never mind, not Instagram. TikTok definitely destroyed their competition if we're talking about, if we are talking about just consumer on its own. But if you're talking about alongside with your creators and alongside with advertisers, Instagram becomes a valid competitor. But I do think that Snapchat actually works as a very, very close second. Okay, why do I think that Snapchat works as a very, very close second? A lot of advertisers actually go on Snapchat and they do their ads, and they can pay a lot more because they get a lot more return in terms of their ROI when they do Snapchat ads. Okay, this has actually been proven by a lot of creators where they actually explain about how ads actually work on Snapchat. Okay, and personally, like I said before, right now I'm just gonna reiterate what I've actually said before about Snapchat as well. Okay, I don't think that Snapchat is going to be a good buy in terms of like a good value of money for the company as of now, because if Snapchat were to suddenly trigger a selling of the entire company, I think that would be horrendous. It would be one of the worst idea possible, because I don't see Snapchat selling right now, because Snapchat has not really reached the peak of their creativity or where their business model can actually go until. Okay, so I do think that if Evan Spielberg or Spilger or whatever, I forgot the CEO name, is Evan something. If he were to sell the company right now, maybe he would be able to get about like $16 a share. I don't think that would be a good idea, not only because my price is not till $16, but at the same time, I do think that Snapchat is still on its way up. Okay, I think that there will still be about like 4 to 7 years before we actually see Snapchat do something really, really fantastic. All right, second thing, especially because from the previous quarter earning for Snapchat, Snapchat actually did not report any sort of guidance. And I think that kind of scared the market a little bit more, which kind of brought Snapchat down about another 25% or so. Of course, that kind of scared the market. And people were like, oh, okay, if Snapchat do not dare to, report guidance, it means that it's going to be a very, very bad quarter up ahead. Rough seas up ahead, and the people have a lot of doubts on Snapchat as a whole. But something interesting that actually happened just yesterday, it was actually reported, because earlier in June, Snapchat released a paid version for Snapchat, which is called Snapchat Plus. Okay, on top of this whole premium process, why it is actually worth for you to actually get Snapchat Plus is for you to be more seen by celebrities and influencers that you actually follow. And on top of that, you actually get a desktop version. And of course, a lot of other small little perks that you can get just by subscribing to Snapchat Plus. I talked about this heavily on the earnings for Snapchat, and I think that this is one of the most important points for Snapchat. Okay, I talked about it because I think that Snapchat have a huge concern before June that we do not have enough trenches of money making revenues. We only had ad revenue from one side, but right now, if we have a Snapchat Plus, which is a paid version, now you can actually have a guaranteed or almost a guaranteed amount of subscribers who are going to be paying money to enter the Snapchat Plus. And I think that that's going to be a very, very solid a very solid branch of income of revenue. So I think that that's very, very good that Snapchat was able to realize the fact that they do need a stable income stream via a subscription model. Okay, I think that that's pretty smart of them to do so. But yesterday, they finally breached the 1 million mark for people who subscribe to the Snapchat Plus, which I think that is incredible. I'm very, very happy for Snapchat that they finally did that. So chances are what we're going to see in the next 2 quarters, I do not want to say the next quarter alone. I do think that in the next 2 quarters, Snapchat is going to be very, very interesting for us to look at. Because on top of the Snapchat Plus, okay, we're also talking about how social media right now, social media companies in general are starting to get a lot of hype. Okay, and I think those are going to be the companies that we really want to look at. Of course, with Twitter, you have Elon Musk basically going through the whole skedaddle for him to actually get into Twitter. And even as of now, as of this recording, he has still not bought it over Twitter. So I'm not sure if anything's going to happen when I'm over in Portugal. So let's see how that actually goes. But I do think that because of that, social media companies are usually getting kind of a bit of an uptrend. Even for Facebook themselves, they're actually trying to move over to more Reels kind of content, trying to fight with TikTok. Okay, Pinterest, on the other hand, instead of a content shift, they actually have more of a market shift, where Elliott, which is a very, very famous hedge fund and activist hedge fund, basically bought a significant stake, according to them, into Pinterest. So you can see that, all these social media companies, they're all having people's eyes on them. Okay, people are getting them up. People are thinking that social media companies are starting to come back again. Okay, of course, during the tech bear market, a lot of them went down by a lot. Even for Snapchat themselves, they actually went down from about $60 high down to about right now, which is about $10 or so. So that's a huge drop from its highs. Right now, I do think that if you're really interested in Snapchat for the long run, I do think that you might want to do your own due diligence on Snapchat. I think that it's going to be quite interesting. What I would recommend you to do if you are interested into getting into Snapchat, okay, just read up the last 3 quarters of earnings. And just look up some of the CNBC articles or the Wall Street Journal articles on Snapchat. I think those are going to be very, very interesting for you to really make your move forward. Okay, the headwinds that we already have already went past, which was, like I said before, which is the Apple ad revenue change. Afterwards, you basically had the Snapchat profit warning, and afterwards we also had the reluctance to give us guidance on the upcoming quarter. Those are strong headwinds, nevertheless. I do think that those definitely bring Snapchat down in terms of a guiding price. I do guide Snapchat a lot lower from my own perspective due to those headwinds as well. And of course, I do think that right now, Snapchat Plus, that's definitely a huge tailwind for Snapchat. Because right now we basically solve one of the biggest problem about Snapchat, which is the insufficient and unstable sources of income. Because from all the ads generated income, right now we actually have from Snapchat Plus. Okay, I do hope that we actually see more of a wide. Well, I do think that we would want to be able to look at the daily active users go up on Snapchat as well. Right now, the daily active users are actually gradually going up, or they are basically, well, they're not exactly going down, which is something that I'm very, very happy about. For Snapchat, if the DAUs or the MAUs start to go down, of course that would start to turn into a headwind for me as well, for the company. However, right now I think the DAU and the MAU are relatively doing quite all right, and I think that they are in fact they're actually progressing upwards. So I do think that the DAU and MAU are going to be huge factors for us to actually look into as well. So yeah, if we are talking about revenue wise, I think that's one item that's fixed already, which make me even more bullish on Snapchat. The next one would be the monthly active user and the daily active user. Like I said before, those are not exactly declining. Because you have to add on to the fact that people are using, because ultimately social media platforms are how the whole point of it is they are actually buying your attention. Okay, so if everyone have 24 hours in a day, and I'm using YouTube, I'm using Twitter, I'm using TikTok, I'm using Instagram, I'm using Facebook, I'm using Pinterest. Okay, I'm using so many different social media platforms. Okay, and for you to still come back to Snapchat for the DAU and MAU count, okay, those are going to be very, very important numbers. Okay, despite the fact of us having so many so-called better social media platforms out there, Snapchat is still maintaining a high DAU and MAU number. So ultimately, I do think that Snapchat is still going to be a very, very interesting play in the future. So yeah, I do think that Snapchat is going to be very interesting. Okay, I cannot give you guys any financial advice simply because I'm not a financial advisor either. Okay, so do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice by no means. Okay, but something that you can really do, like I said before, just go through the financial records if you're really interested in the company before you invest. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Okay, so in the next video, I'm most likely going to be talking about Robinhood. So if you're interested in that video, okay, just stay tuned for the next video. It's either going to be on a Wednesday or on a Saturday. I'm going to schedule them all out for you guys. Okay, so if you like this content, like this video, and also subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And of course, head down to the description box down below to get some free stocks via Webull. Okay. I'm currently partnering up with them, and they have a really cool collaboration going on, and you can get up to $100 of free fractional shares. Okay, super duper easy. Just go down to the description box down below and get your free stocks. And if you do not know what to do, just DM me on Instagram right here. Okay, I'm not sure what time zone I'm gonna be in, but the moment I see your message and I'm free, I'm gonna be replying to you guys. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys.